Dauntless B30 Day 4. In this video, I'm going to share with you why I do what I do. And in order to do that, I need to take you back some 30 plus years. 30 plus years ago, I was a young, inexperienced, naive social worker. And I was working with a 3-year-old little girl and her parents. And her parents, well, to put it mildly, they detested me. One of my weaknesses at the time was I liked to be liked. So it made it a very difficult relationship going to see the child because the parents hated me. But I didn't have an option. I was a child social worker, so I had to go and see her. What I didn't know at the time was just how badly this child was being abused. I didn't even realize it because I was that naive. Eventually the child was murdered by the father, which was a big shock to me. And I had to go to court to give evidence. Now, I wasn't prepared for giving evidence. I didn't know how to give evidence. I had no experience in these matters. So when I went to court, I was literally slaughtered by these barristers. These barristers were making out that it was all my fault. It was all down to me. This child's murder was my problem, my responsibility, and all of it was my failing. And of course, there were a number of things that were my failing, but it wasn't anything like the way they were painting it out. I was just young and inexperienced and I didn't know what I didn't know. But it was a nightmare. It was literally the worst experience of my life. And I wouldn't wish it. In all honesty, I would not wish that on my worst enemy ever. Eventually, I was dismissed from court. When I was dismissed from court, I wanted to get the hell out of there. I never want to see the inside of a court again. I was done with social work in my eyes. I never wanted to be involved in social work again. But something stopped me at that point. Somewhere along the line, something stopped me and said, no, Michael, that's not what you're going to do. You're not going to run away from this. You are going to go back to court again and again and again. And you know why you're going to do it? You're going to do it because what happened to you that day in that witness box is never going to be allowed to happen to you again. You are never going to allow that to happen to you again. And miraculously, strangely, that is exactly what I did. I went back to court until I got good at giving evidence. I went back to court until I became pretty much an expert in court proceedings. I became a children's guardian and an independent social worker. I had my own experience of going to a private law case, a private law matter, because I'd split up with a partner and had a child and I wasn't able to see that child. So as a result, I had to go to court. I had other experiences where I supported someone that was very close to me going through court again and again and again because their ex was taking them to court on a frequent basis. I then went on to write a book about giving evidence to help others to do the same. And when I took up public speaking, I then developed my 5-step system to help anyone give the best evidence at court. But those are the things those are the experiences, the skills, etc., that make me unique in being able to help others, being able to coach others. But the reason I do what I do was because that experience was such an awful experience that I wouldn't wish it on anyone. You don't have to do anything wrong. You just have to go to court and you can experience something like what I experienced. Hopefully it won't be anywhere near as bad as I experienced. But even if you had a fraction of what I experienced, you would not like it. Trust me on that. It is that brutal. So I do what I do because number one, I know how terrible it was and I wouldn't want that to happen to anyone else. And number two, I know that there are very few people that know how to defend themselves at court. So the chances of it happening are highly likely. And number three, I know that there are very few people also who have the skills that I have. I'm uniquely qualified for helping people to give evidence at court because I've been through the process. I've been through my own private law process. I've been through helping someone else go through that process. I've written a book on how to give the best evidence, and I've now developed a 5-step system to help people to give the very best evidence at court. That's why, if you're going to court, you need to listen to me. And that's why I do what I do. Thanks for listening. See you again soon.